How's everybody doing today? Okay, so I'm a little bit upset. This isn't even on the script, but they told me literally not to bring a guitar. So I didn't know that we could do that. That's really, really awesome. Okay, so no jerks allowed. How many of you work with a jerk? Okay, how many of you are sitting next to that jerk right now because you all came together? Okay, so this is the time now where you're going to have some conversations. This is going to force some conversations that are going to be a little bit awkward afterwards, right? So we all think about the jerks that we have at work, right? And when we think about a jerk at work, what we're talking about is the people that just can't quite seem to get on board, right? They're the people that every time a good idea comes up, somebody tries to shoot it down. They're the kind of the person that sits there and crosses their arms and go, yeah, we've done that before, right? They're the person that leans on the building, and that stands outside the building, and when new people come in, they can say, things like, I can tell by the smile on your face that you haven't worked here long enough. Right? Has anybody here ever said that? Oh, but some people are like, I said that yesterday. Somebody said it, right? Yeah, that's the kind of jerk that we're talking about. They're the people that hold the after meetings. Y'all know what I'm talking about in the after meetings, right? Right? And it's hard when we talk about these jerks. The other thing about these jerks is that the jerks aren't just naturally jerks. We've been jerks too. Right? I've been a jerk before. Have you been a jerk? How many of you have been a jerk before? Been that person, right? These are what we call toxic employees. So let's think about our workforce. Think about the people that you work with, right? And this is from a Gallup study. And what the Gallup study tells us is that 33% are highly engaged people. So let me introduce you to the highly engaged person. Hi, I'm the highly engaged person. I am all in on your business. I love what you do. I love the direction that we're going. When a new person starts, I'm all in. I'm going to meet them at the door. I'm going to say, hey, you're doing a great job, or here's what we can do better. Whenever there's a problem to solve, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to try to solve that problem, right? What's happening with the other 2 out of 3 people? 50% of people are disengaged at work. Half of the people. So if you're disengaged, stand up. No, I'm just kidding. We won't do that to you. So the disengaged person, let me introduce you to that person. Hi, I'm disengaged at work. I go to work, I do my job, I go home. That's what I do. If you ask me to help you solve a problem, I might help you, but I might not really stick my neck out because it's not really my place, right? I'm disengaged. I'm not all on fire about what I do, right? Let me plead my case here. More people in the United States are getting a college degree than ever before. We're graduating highly educated people. I've talked to people with bachelor's degrees who come to me all the time and say, hey, I'm going to try to get a master's degree now. What kind of master's degree should I get? Or I'm going to get my doctorate, or I'm going to get my MBA, right? I need to get that bigger advanced degree, right? So they're trying to get the skill sets. And then you go to the colleges and you talk to them, and they're having trouble finding jobs. They're having trouble finding, where do I go next? Right? They're not getting connected. Unemployment is very low. But how many times when you're looking for a new applicant, do you look for just unemployed people? Right? You ever thought about that? Sometimes people say, well, unemployment's really low, so it's hard to find people. You don't have to wait for them to be unemployed, right? Most of the time when you hire somebody new, they probably already had a job, or they're just entering into the workforce, right? Tip number 4, and this is one of the reasons that Springfield does things like the Think Summit, is connect your people with the community once they come in, right? Because millennials are thinking a lot of times when they come into a job, I'll take the job in Springfield, work 2 or 3 years, then I'm going to move to Kansas City, St. Louis, or some bigger community, right? Springfield has everything that anybody would want to have in a community like that. And if they don't, Springfield is a place where you can create it, right? So connect people with the community, and especially if you're in Springfield here, because you've got something that will really help you with attracting talent. So the key takeaways, look, there may be a workforce shortage, but there's more qualified talent available than ever before. Last time we had a job opening at People Centric, we put it out there, we received 400 applicants for that job. That's pretty good, right? That's because we think we're a good place to work, right? And ask any of our team members. That's a little risky to say that, but you can ask anybody. Employees are more savvy about selecting their employers. And we don't usually think of it like that. We don't like to think of it like that way. We select our employees. They don't select us. No, they're picking you now too, right? The market has shifted. And then the last thing is attracting talent may require some real changes in your culture. Okay, now I deliver this message sometimes to businesses, and businesses go, it would be so much easier to blame the millennials, right? Because then I don't have to do something. But I always say, this is good news for you. This is good news because I'm telling you 2 things. One is if you improve your culture, if you make it a place where people can thrive, if you make a culture of engagement, focus, and accountability, you will attract more talent to your business, and that talent will be more successful in it. And the second thing I'm telling you is that many, many businesses suck at that. And so you don't have to be faster than the bear, you have to be faster than the other campers. Follow me? Okay. So Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go out into the conversation room. And if you have any questions or anything, you can meet me out there and we can talk more about culture. But I appreciate all of you. Work on culture. Don't tolerate bad management and work through this stuff and make Springfield a great place. Thanks so much for having me.